always get, when we travel, people would always come up to me and say, Pastor, how do you study the Bible? I want to know how you study the Bible. I'm interested in getting deeper into the Word of God. And my wife and I would talk about it. We would say, man, wouldn't it be great if like we had a school where we could, teach people how to study the Word of God. And through a series of events and meeting, different people, Calvin Kim being one of the first ones, I remember we were at GYC, and I was sitting at a table with some people. I didn't even know Calvin was there. And I was talking about this idea of possibly starting a school where different speakers would come in and share their own technique of Bible study, so that we could actually have people come and listen to these different presenters share how they personally study the Bible. And all I remember is this, little Korean guy on the side of my view looking over at me, and then he was like, I can do that. And, I looked at him and I was like, really? He was like, man, I can help you make that happen. I know people, I can get, the ball moving, and Calvin is a real organizer. And so, I first thought, well, yeah, how possible this is going to be, and here we are. God has blessed tremendously since, and we want you guys to know that the purpose of ARME is not just to put on another camp. There are many camps that are going on, many different meetings, retreats, youth meetings, all kinds of things going on, and they are serving their purpose, and I believe they're serving their purpose effectively. So we didn't just want to start a camp just to add another camp to the list. We said, you know what, we want to do something where people will have the practical tools they need, where they can't go to, a 3-month school or, go to, one of our universities or colleges, but they want to get some kind of education on how to study, how to pray, and that's what it has become. And it has actually evolved, because we started out just as a how to study the Bible, but very quickly the prayer arm became a very important part of ARME Bible Camp. And so since then we have been blessed. It's been a blessing for us to see you all come out and to support this ministry by your presence, and just going out and telling people, man, we were blessed at ARME Camp, and we want to see these kind of camps continue. And rest assured that the devil is doing everything in his power to shut this camp down, to shut this ministry down, because he doesn't want people to be equipped with the Word of God. He doesn't want people to understand for themselves and to know that, man, I can take these tools and go and teach the Bible myself, be a Bible worker myself, and not have to depend upon a minister, or someone who has gone to school for this. So that is the purpose of ARME Bible Camp, and we believe that it is fulfilling its mission. And we again thank you for your support of this ministry.
So why is it that God took a ragtag, motley crew of young people who have no experience in ministry, most of us didn't, and put us together to form this? And I know He did it to save me, as well as for each and every one of you. And I can speak on behalf of our team, because we all need revival too. Some people may look at the team and go, oh, they've all got it together. No, we have our struggles, we have our trials. But I tell you, we come here to ARME and we see what God is doing through the lives of people. And I want to just share with you some of my favorite testimonies. You can put the picture on. I'll tell you about my friend here. This was in our ARME in Hawaii. It was Thursday night. The speaker was speaking. And for some reason, I just felt like going to the prayer room. I go to the prayer room. And because there's someone speaking, there's usually not very many people there. And there's one person there. And I meet this person. And this person, we start talking. This person introduces themselves to me as this person's name being Michelle. And so we just start talking. And I don't say this to be funny at all. As we're talking, I'm wondering, is this a male or a female? I really genuinely don't know. Come to find out as I get to know this person more, this is Michelle, and she's struggling because she's a lesbian. And she's at camp. And you can imagine why she's in the prayer room, because of the burdens that she carries. I want to go a little bit further back. 2 camps before that, at Pacific Union College, we had a large ARME. Her parents were there, and their lives were changed. So changed, in fact, that when they had finished camp, they came across a fairly large amount of money that they were not expecting. They used that money to pay for 25 people anonymously from their church. All expenses paid to come to Hawaii. Do you think they were praying for their daughter? So Michelle came, and we became fast friends, and she became friends with our team. Do you think her journey was over as soon as she came to ARME? No, it was a rough road ahead of her. She came to the next ARME. Her parents sponsored people to come to the next ARME, and she came. There's been people on our team, and I know Dawn, she's on our team. She hates being recognized. Dawn's been keeping in touch with her almost every other day, weekly. She joins our prayer lines. We have telephone prayer conferences. We do this constantly. We have an Indiana team, I believe it's a Texas team where she's been on, that's been giving her the support that she needs. I want to invite Michelle to come on up here right now. That was before, and this is after. She has surrendered her will to God, and God has given her victory. She's got baptized, and right now she's making plans to go to a Bible college. From my conversations that I've had with Michelle, God has incredible plans in store for her. He's going to use her in a mighty way. Michelle, just sum it up. How has ARME impacted you?
It's changed my life.
And not only your life, but my life. And I can speak on behalf of the team in your lives as well. God is using this ministry to change people's lives. I want to share just a couple of other of my favorite stories. I mean, I can't tell you how many testimonies we get and what we get to witness. One of my favorite stories, we were at a camp at Pine Springs Ranch. And this young gal, she shared her testimony. She had a foster child for a short amount of time. And while she had the foster child, she was teaching this foster child about Jesus. And she fell in love with this foster child. But due to unfortunate circumstances, they took her away, back to her home. That's not a good sign. If she's in foster care and she's being sent back to her home. I think she tried to reach her by phone, was not allowed to contact her. Could you imagine a young mother's heart? I'm not sure how much time had passed. She comes to ARME Bible Camp. Guess who she sees at camp? That little girl. It was like God was telling her, don't worry, I'm taking care of her. Another time we had an offering appeal. And we made an appeal. We are a volunteer organization. Dave is our vice president. He pays his own flight, his own transportation, registration, just like all of you do. I'm the director of operations. I do the same thing. We believe in making sacrifices to come here. You know, it's been said that the early Advent movement took much sacrifice to get it going, and it will take greater sacrifice to finish the work. I'll be honest with you, we're not really making that great a sacrifice compared to the early pioneers. We had made the appeal, and there was a woman in the audience, and she prayed, God, what would you have me to give? And God impressed her to give all that you have. Right afterwards, she came and spoke to me, and she shared with me that God had impressed her to write a check of everything that was in her savings. And she wrote out a check for $40,000. This is not a wealthy lady. She's a single lady. She's a hard-working lady, but she had been impressed by God to put away money. And she decided to give it to ARME. We take that money. What do we do with it? We use it for scholarships. Lately, we have not been able to give a lot of scholarships because right now, for this last past year, we've been struggling financially. We're still in debt. Right now, we need to raise about $56,000, about $40,000 to $45,000 just to cover camp costs. You may think, well, we have registration fees, that covers everything. When we've got to fly in speakers with all the things that are involved with advertising, it's a huge expense. We trust in God to provide the funds. And God provides. Sometimes we've had more, sometimes we've had less, but we just keep trusting in God. But why do we do this? Why do we do this work? Because we owe it to Jesus. And so at this time, I'm going to invite the ushers to come forward. Many of you guys have had pledge cards. If you have not received a pledge card, if you'd raise your hand. and our ushers can hand you a pledge card. What you can do is you can fill out this pledge card, and when we have the offering baskets passed out, you can put this into the offering basket. If you do not have funds with you, you can fill it out, or you can take this home and you can always